Looking at segment and angle bisectors here. What on earth does it mean to bisect something? Remember that bi means two. So if we're going to have an angle bisector or a segment bisector, it means we're going to cut our segment or our angle in half right down the middle. So that tells us everything we need to know. Check this out. If xy is 3.3 and we know that y is the midpoint, another vocabulary word, the midpoint. A midpoint is also a beautiful way to say this line is cut perfectly in half. That means xy is 3.3, which means yz is also 3.3. So we only need one piece of information, really. We need to know that y is the midpoint. And from there, we can tell all the things. We can say xy is 3.3, yz is 3.3. We can also figure out the whole entire length of the segment. So xz ends up being 6.6. The same thing happens with an angle. This is called an angle bisector. So if angle or ray BD, so ray BD, it'll say B will come first. B is, in a previous video, I talked to you about a ray. The first letter is the beginning of the point, or it's the flashlight. When you hold the flashlight, you point it in the direction you want to shine the light. It heads the direction of the light of the ray, so it's heading out through D. So ray BD is the angle bisector. Okay, so angle bisector is called ray BD. We know that angle, let's get some more little segments, terminology, things like that in here, vocabulary. We have angle ABD, so ABD, we know is equal to 27 degrees. With just those two pieces of information, we can tell that angle, let's say the measure, let's even put a little m in there, the measure of angle DBC or CBD, I'll do CBD, is equal to 27 degrees also. Finally, with knowing that these two pieces match each other because of the angle bisector, I can tell you what the measure of angle ABC is. So the measure of angle ABC is basically these two added up together, and that has its own little name. That's where you're going to hear words like postulate come into play. We're not going to touch on that today in this video, but just to know how the mechanics work of it, how the foundation works, we're going to add 27 and 27 to get 54. So we know that that entire angle measures 54 degrees. So angle bisectors and segment bisectors are really, really fantastic, including midpoints. So hopefully that clears up how to work through those. So how'd that go? Did that make any sense? Hopefully you had a moment of clarity where you went, oh, that's it. That's always my goal. So check out my other math videos, and hopefully you'll have more aha moments throughout all those as well. Don't forget to tell your friends too.